don't have a cough button.
Oh, that time of the year again.
Yes. That's how we're going to open up the podcast and stuff. You just coughing your head off.
That's okay.
Hacking up a storm.
Yeah, well, it should be hacking up along, if anything. All right. Well, here we are. Episode number 2 of Everything in Between. I'm Corey.
This is Zach.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I know this is the episode y'all been waiting for.
It's hot and steamy.
It's real hot. It's cold outside, baby. It's cold outside. It's snowing, quite a bit actually.
My famous line: if you don't like the weather, wait 5 minutes, it'll change.
Yeah, it's Indiana. It's gonna be 41 on Sunday, so all of this will be melted for all your snow fans out there.
Happy birthday to my wife on Sunday.
Oh yeah, happy birthday to Sis, and then we'll do another birthday shout out for Mercedes.
29 forever. That's what we're going with for my wife. I'm not gonna put her on blast on
Oh
here.
yeah, no, we won't do that. That'd be, boy, we both woke up and chose violence today.
Yeah, we'd be in trouble. That's for sure.
But a shout out to Mercedes. She's one of our followers, also a family like sister to us.
Yeah. Hate you too.
Yep. Hate you too. Yep. Mean it. Just kidding. We love you.
Hate you, mean it.
It's her birthday on Saturday. Tomorrow.
That's tomorrow.
Yeah. I think she said she wanted to do some karaoke. I think that's what she was going to do. So
there we go.
So there could be a possibility that she'll be singing her little heart away with friends.
In low places.
In low places. In low places.
Here we go. Got to start it off with a song.
Got it.
Every week.
Every week, buddy. All right. Well, big news coming out of the Indianapolis area this weekend. We have the NBA All-Star game happening this weekend.
I know the when we talked about it the first podcast, it was, we felt like it was like 4 weeks away, and now here it is. It's upon us.
Boy, close. Yeah. Well, we took a week off.
We did
last week, but it was warranted. Even though you may not say it was warranted, it was warranted.
It's one of those things, man. Once you get moving, you just want to keep that train moving.
I hear you, but it was the biggest game. We had the Super Bowl last week.
Yes, we did. We had a lot of big news last week. We lost a legend.
We also lost a legend. We lost old Toby Keith to stomach cancer.
Cheers to him and his Red Solo Cup.
Yep, we're drinking out of Red Solo Cups this evening. We're going. Shout out to Jack Daniel's Bonded, same one we've been sipping on. Yeah. Unfortunately, we will kill the bottle this evening.
We're down to drops.
It's like an hourglass. Like we know that when the glass is empty, we should probably stop talking.
Oh, wouldn't that be really cool to make an hourglass out of a Jack Daniel's bottle?
Yeah.
You wouldn't be able to narrow it down, but it would still be cool.
It would still be cool, yeah. Put two of them, like, neck them together, like, see if you can, like, heat the glass to each other.
I mean, you can heat glass. That's how it was made.
That's what I'm saying. Heat the necks together, and then you can make an hourglass out of 2 Jack Daniel's bottles.
If you just got big enough granules of sand.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could do that.
Well, let's not reinvent the wheel here and stuff. There's
we could, though. This is everything in between. This is everything in between. We can do whatever we want. It's our world. They're just living in it.
And we just talk about it all. We leave no stone unturned.
No stone unturned. Again, guys, if you are new here, thank you for joining. Thank you for watching. Thank you. Well, we're not really watching anything.
Not yet.
We are in the process.
We're going to have the camera set up. We're going to get us on TikTok. Put us out on all the platforms. Because apparently, the algorithms and stuff they don't like us very much. We've got 75 listeners from our first podcast. So,
we want to thank
every one of you for taking the time out of your day to listen to the two of us bullshit.
Yeah, the two of us idiots talking about everything in between. I can't get over how we just came up with that name, though. That was fantastic.
Sitting on the couch.
We were. Well, this all actually, we'll talk about this because I don't remember if we talked about this in episode 1. Because I drink a lot.
We talked about how our podcast was supposed to be called the Hot Tub Boys, but unforeseen circumstances with the hot tub. I still have not got it thawed out yet.
Yeah, well,
it's a solid block.
Whoever the owner of the hot tub is should be ridiculed.
Really slacking.
Should be ridiculed in all the ways because like right now it's snowing outside.
It would be perfect.
It would be perfect to sit in a nice warm 109 temperature, hot tub and
just rub it in. Keep rubbing it in.
Maybe watching the Xfinity race.
Keep on turning.
Speaking of sports, we got the Daytona 500 this weekend.
Boo. That's all right.
Yeah, we don't care about NASCAR.
Not since the legends are gone. Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt.
And John Andretti. Got a shout out to him. We miss that man. We miss that man very dearly. He's a family member of ours, so we miss him. we miss him dearly. So I would like to get Jared Andretti in here on this. That'd be really cool if we could. If I'll talk to him. Reach out to him.
It's surprising how many people have reached out about like, hey, I've got something to talk about. And I've reached out to a couple individuals and stuff who I feel have very good life experiences. Some of them have just recently happened, and kind of would like to talk more further with what's going on with them. Like
man,
it's
what we're here for, man. It's not just it's a brother. It's a brother.
It podcast, is, and that's the thing. I want it to be fun. I want it to be energetic and things like that. But there are going to be those times where we are going to have some difficult conversations with some difficult, people who want to share their story.
Yeah, and I think that's really awesome because a lot of people when they listen to a podcast and they got their own thoughts and opinions, which is fine. Whatever, bring them on. We got broad shoulders. We can handle that. But there's a lot of things out there.
But the diversity of it is the most important thing. Like whether me and you agree with whoever we bring on are talking about stuff, like that's what we want, because not all of our listeners
are going to agree
with what we say, which is fine.
Yeah.
And we understand, but we do want to reach out and if we talk about something that hey, we don't like that or something and stuff, give us the feedback. We don't care, like anything.
Yeah, that's what we're here for. We're here to give you guys something to do and listen to during your days, and racing season's about to pick up, and so that'll be cool to kind of talk about that a little bit.
As long as we stay current with our weekly schedule, and we don't get too far behind.
Yeah. Well, the Super Bowl was one thing. It was a big weekend, especially for me being a 49ers fan. Hey, red and gold till I'm dead and cold.
Well, he's still sour about that.
Yeah, we're still salty. You
started working for Morton's last week, huh?
Yeah. Well, I should go apply and be a ref because I could probably do a better job than half those monkeys on there.
Here we go. Blame it on the refs.
I'm not blaming the refs. I think we beat ourselves. Chiefs didn't beat us, but whatever.
No, the Chiefs didn't. Taylor Swift did.
Yeah, from the press box. Yeah, from the press box.
Did you guys play any games about the Taylor Swift every time they showed?
Oh yeah, every time they showed her and Travis Kelce. We took a drink, or we did a shot actually, and then if it was just Travis,
you were drunk by the end of the first half,
no, they didn't show them both.
No, I know, yeah.
Now if it was just Taylor or just Travis, we just took a drink.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. I was trying to keep.
Boy, how many drinks was Travis going up and getting in his coach's face? What do you think about that?
Oh, honestly, as a
coach, we got to win this game. She's gonna make a meme. She's gonna write a song about this.
Yeah, I'm really a fan. I'm actually really a fan of Travis Kelce. A buddy of mine, Jordan Stepp, played at Cincinnati with Travis and Jason.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
So they became friends obviously over the years.
Nice.
Played at Cincinnati, and Mr. Stepp and I we've had it out on the gridiron. He was at Ben Davis. I was at Avon. We actually both were in broadcasting class together. So we talked mad shit to each other during the week, and then of course. Game day came around, and he beat us. That's beside the point. Here, that was a long time ago. But
BD's always been on a streak. They've been on a streak forever.
Yeah. Well, anyway, I digress. But anyway, so subject. Jordan and I, we play with any kind of sport with a lot of passion. And so currently I play slow pitch men's softball, and I get heated sometimes,
Do you play or do you just stand there?
Well, it depends on. I'm a pitcher, so technically I just stand there.
It's up for debate.
Yeah, technically I just stand there.
I know a couple people and stuff who've played against you, and I'm like, nah, don't put him in the outfield.
Oh no, now back in the day, boy, left field was locked down.
The grass will grow between your feet.
Yeah. Well, no, because Michael Porras and I used to play together in the outfield. He was left, I was left center. I mean, we held it down. Don't hit it to left field. No fly zone back there, but
that's what we're calling it.
But now that I'm fat and I moved to the pitcher's mound, it is still
fat
a no
and sassy, right?
Ooh, lots of sass. Yeah, I like talking shit to the batters and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. But I also play with passion. So Travis, I think he's getting a bad rap now. Would I grab my coach by his arm and scream in his ear? No, but I'm also not getting paid millions of dollars to do what he does and win 3 championships and.
Well, that's true.
And whatnot. So I think there are pros and cons to what he did, right? I'm never going to grab a coach their arm, but they won, and so Andy Reid made it not such a big deal, right?
Yes. Yeah.
But I don't know. It's hard. We're not there.
But I mean, as a head coach for a multi-trillion-dollar
again, we're not making millions of dollars.
But it's one of those things. Like, how do you approach that? Even like, I mean, you're gonna pull that player off to the side after the game and go, "Hey, look, don't ever do this again." Like that.
Yeah, absolutely. You keep it in house. You don't. Don't let the media get a hold of it. That happens in the locker room where the media is not really involved as much, right? I think that's where you want to be as far as.
Yes, definitely.
But I think Travis is probably one of the best tight ends in the league. Him and George Kittle both. I really do enjoy watching Travis play. The way he plays with passion and stuff like that.
He does,
now,
yeah.
what he did with Justin Tucker's helmet and moved all of his shit out of the way, was not a fan of that.
I mean, it's up for debate.
I mean, there was no words exchanged.
He just moved it out of the way.
No,
it wasn't like he was.
He tossed it. He tossed it. He tossed his helmet, his kicking tee, everything out of the way. I'm not a fan of that. Now, if you want to be part of the WWE and create some entertainment, by all means, I'm totally for that. But you're in the National Football League. You're there to play a children's game. There's a certain respect that you have amongst players. And I get it. The Baltimore Ravens were probably chirping, but Justin Tucker, not really much of a chirper.
Yeah.
He was just stretching, doing his warm ups like he normally does, and then kind of went out of his way to kind of toss the helmet. Wasn't a fan of that. Again, that's the passion that you have to back up your teammates. Like Patrick Mahomes was throwing, he thought he was in the way.
Could he have moved 5 yards? Most definitely. Could you have thrown?
Could he have asked him, "Hey man"?
He could have.
Patty's throwing down here. Do you mind moving a couple yards? But if you do the same routine every game, I ain't moving for you. I'm going to be an asshole too. You know what I mean? No. But he was just stretching when he did it.
This is my turf. There are many like it, but this one is mine.
And that's the thing. They were playing in Baltimore. Like you don't have the right to move anybody.
Yeah. When
they're on their field. You know what I mean? That's the only thing I have a problem with Travis Kelce. Now I get it. You want to back up Patrick Mahomes, he's your teammate and brother. But there's ways about doing that than maybe doing that.
Well, now that we're off that soapbox.
Yeah. I talk a lot, clearly.
No, it's fine.
But yeah, so.
I guess that was a soapbox that we could stay on.
Oh, dude,
we at least had something to talk about.
I probably could have talked about that for another 2 hours. Just something. But anyway, so guys.
But I mean, hey, football's over now. We're coming into baseball season.
It is baseball season. This is Braves country.
There was a funny video I seen on TikTok and stuff. It was a gentleman and stuff who's obviously married. And, he goes through this whole calendar of, all right, ladies, this is this time of the year. We've got the PGA coming up with different stories.
Oh, yeah. The Masters coming up here in April. Yeah, it's coming up soon.
You see, Tiger's going to get back on the green this weekend.
Yeah, he shot a 72 yesterday, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
But he said that his back hurt.
When you've played golf as long as he has, I think he's got the right to say his back hurts.
Man makes millions of dollars. Nothing should hurt. You know what I mean? He should be a bicentennial man at that point. But I can't wait to hit the greens, hit the links this year.
It'll be a good time. It'll be a really good time.
Yeah. I got a couple new coworkers. They like to play golf on Fridays because we're off.
Do it.
Yeah, drink some beer, hit some little white balls. I'm not very good. I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
Robin Williams' skit on golf is the funniest.
Oh yeah, the Scottish came up with it, right?
Yeah. Little Scotsman
we're
down there.
We're gonna hit it into a gopher hole.
Yeah, with a fucking club.
With a fucking stick, a crooked stick.
No, we're gonna put the tee hundreds of yards away, and then we're gonna call it a stroke because every time you swing the fucking club, it feels like you're gonna have a stroke.
Oh man, miss that man.
That was a legend.
Man, all the good ones gone, man. They're starting to go. I don't know if that's us getting older or we should be used to that, or
I don't know. Is death something you ever get used to?
Yes, actually, I would say so. Yeah, we've lost a lot of people our age.
We just passed the 1-year anniversary on my mother-in-law passing.
Yes,
it was a
that was a shocker.
It really was, and she wasn't here. It wasn't around, us here. They lived in Florida, so
yeah, that was a shocker though. Nobody saw that coming, but I mean,
no. So like I said, we were coming back up on the 1-year anniversary of my wife's mother passing away. It was complete shock to all of us.
Yeah.
And it was like the hardest drive home ever. If anybody doesn't know and stuff, I got the call from her dad before he called her, and he wanted me to be home so that way I could tell her. But a lady from the church had actually called and, was informed her before I got home. So it was definitely the hardest drive home from work I think I've ever had.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's already been a year, though.
It is, yeah.
It's been, oh, God, what is this? Year 4 without Little D. Year 3 without Big Paul. We're at 8 years now for Trey.
Yes, 8.
Yeah, 8 years. Yeah, 8 years of Trey. Shout out to 33.
And I couldn't imagine, being a parent and losing a child and stuff. But it's one of those... Yeah, let alone 2 of them. And if anybody out there and stuff has ever, married or been in a relationship with someone who's lost a parent, it changes them. It really does. And it's not a bad change.
No.
It's just one of those things that you see all the strength that their parent had and all the values and the core disciplines, that was instilled in them from a young age. It all shows. It all comes through, and they just pick up that strength that their mother or their father, whatever it was that they lost and stuff and carried on. And I see that every day in my wife, and she's the strongest person I've ever met. And I don't know how she does it.
I probably have to say the same thing about my mom. When Nana passed away, I was 15. Or Kyle and I were 15. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's just like I didn't realize it at the time. Like when my grandma lost her mom, my great grandma, when she passed, Mamaw. You didn't recognize it.
Yeah.
But now, as I've gotten older and I look back, and I'm like, oh, my grandma did change when she lost her mom.
Yeah.
And, and I was 12 when my mom's dad passed.
Yeah.
And then, my mom's stepdad, and when he passed, he was always the one that was there in the picture and stuff. It changes you. And
it does. I still think, I don't know, I guess it's my mindset. Maybe not necessarily everybody's mindset, right? Like I think, like for me, I've lost a lot of friends, and I've never really, I didn't grieve them well, right?
Well, that's true, yeah.
And so,
or not necessarily grieved them well. You just more or less maybe grieved them in an unhealthy manner for yourself.
For sure, right?
And it's not that's at no fault of you. It's not one of those things that's ever written, or you're never taught how to grieve. You're never taught like you have to do this, to get over this. I mean, there's no blueprint written for how to grieve the loss of a friend or a family member or, whatever.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the tough topic this week. I know we were acquaintances. A girl named Holly, she passed away. I know she was battling some things, but she ended up passing away last week, I think. Yeah, she's around my age, maybe a little younger.
Yeah.
But either way, I guess, I don't know, I guess for me and how I deal with things is I like to drink. I don't necessarily get so wasted where I can't stand afterwards, but for me, it's, and it's obviously very unhealthy, and I get that.
It's a crutch. I mean, everybody's got a crutch, and it just depends on how you use it.
Everybody's got their vices, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's mine. But I changed a lot too. 2.5 years ago, as some of you maybe not know. Thought about committing suicide. Blah blah blah. Went to
of all days, you did it
on your birthday.
On my birthday.
I know. Well,
and I can tell you this. I mean, I would have came and kicked you in the dick every year. If something would have happened to you and stuff, I'd have brought you back just to kick you in the dick.
Well, we never would have had everything in between.
I'm telling you. Everything happens for a reason, and that was the hardest phone call that I think I've ever had to make, was calling 911 on your best friend and going, hey, he's talking about he wants to kill himself, and I think he might go through with it.
Yeah, there was no might about it. Like
I know the way you talk to me and stuff is that your mind was made up.
It was made up.
It was going to happen.
It was a done deal. And it wasn't. And this is what I tell people all the time. Like, it wasn't that I didn't feel loved. You know how, like, some people are like, oh, people don't love me. People don't want me around here.
Yeah.
I'm offing myself, right? That, for me, that was never my mindset. It wasn't like, oh, my God, nobody loves me. Woe is me. That was never me.
Yeah.
For me, I always have to jump through obstacles to get to the next step in life, right? I get a good job. Somehow something happens. None of my control.
2 steps forward, 5 steps back.
Right. Or I get a new car and bam, something happens it's not drivable or blah blah blah. So I always have all these hurdles for my entire life. Now that could be taken in any way you want to take it, right? Whoever's mindset you want to look at it from.
Well, it's also one of those things and stuff that what somebody else may look at it and say, well, that's not really a hurdle. It's an experience or a learning experience and stuff. That's a hurdle to you, and you are entitled to that, and you can speak that, and nobody can ever take that away from you. So don't compare it to what others would say. I mean,
I don't ever think about it being like, oh, I wonder what everybody else is going to think about this. Like, I really don't give a shit. You know what I mean? That's just been my mindset always.
Yeah.
And even when I was in that mindset, I mean, it started along,
oh yeah, and I mean, I don't think you brought it up to me to tell me.
I didn't bring it up to anybody.
You didn't bring it up to me to be like, hey, I want help or anything like that. No, I mean, it was a courtesy. I feel like you were doing to me and your brother and whoever else was there.
Yeah, as the therapist that was at this behavioral hospital, shout out to Community North. They did an absolute bang up job on me.
Look at him. He's turned around 2.5 years. Look at him.
Boy, I'm a brand new man. All right, I'm glad we got the second song in. You got the second song in. No, it was she was a little Indian lady, and for the first the night that I got there, I mean,
you weren't talking to anybody.
I was like, I got to get back to the race team. I can't be here. I got things to do. I don't need to be here. But, I did need to be here. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, that is where I needed to be, right?
Yep.
They ended up calling my brother.
I was going to say, like, I made the initial call to 911, of what was going on. And, crazy story, it was one of the guys that we actually went to high school with who was
Nick Smiley,
the police officer that came and picked you up.
He was also a football player and obviously grew up with Trey.
He knew all of us. He knew the whole clique. And,
knew the whole
and unfortunately, I made that initial phone call, and then everything else went through your brother at the time. Mom and dad were out of town.
It was definitely not unfortunate by any stretch of the imagination. I will say that. Don't ever think that was an unfortunate phone call, because it was a very fortunate phone call that you made.
Saved my best friend's life. So.
And then they ended up calling Kyle. And they were like, hey.
He had power of attorney. And
do you think he needs to stay? And Kyle had to make that really tough decision of.
I mean, we talked, me and
and
Kyle talked all the time. And he was like, I don't think he's ready to come home. And I said, well, then you have to make that call. And
yeah.
That's probably one of the hardest things he's probably ever had to do in his life.
I couldn't imagine what his thought process was knowing I'm pissed off, knowing I want to fight the world. Grieving, sad, mad, all of the things. I think for him it was obviously I couldn't imagine what he went through, and then literally telling my mom on the phone with a straight face, not sad, not anything. She's crying on the phone to tell her that she will be fine.
Oh, trust me, I know.
I mean, I told you, I know that I told you guys the same thing, but that was legitimately where my mind was. Like, hey. You've got Kyle. You're fine. You'll be good in 3 years, 5 years, 10 years.
50% still passing in some places.
Yeah. True. But it's just.
We're not laughing at that situation.
We're not. We're definitely not laughing at the situation.
You just have to find humor in some of the
2.5 years later, I'm in 1,000% better headspace.
Totally different person after that experience.
Yeah, it was crazy. So I was actually there for 72 hours. I didn't talk. They said, if you want to get out of here, you have to go to every meeting.
Better start spilling the beans.
They had 3 meetings a day, okay? And I shit you not when I tell you, in those 72 hours, I didn't say a goddamn word to nobody. I minded my business. I stayed in my room. I didn't want to be there. I felt like I was in a loony bin. I didn't need to be there. There was no reason for me to be there, and I wasn't talking. They're like, you got to say something, and I go, no, I fucking don't.
I gotta say shit.
And so then I had to go to a separate therapist so he can evaluate me to see if I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
If I'm allowed to be let out back into the world. And he was like, well, we'll start with your childhood. And I was like, yeah, I don't really want to talk to you. Like, I've got nothing to say to you.
Yeah.
I don't need a therapist. I'm good.
Now, if you don't mind me asking, didn't you carry on talking to someone after this event had taken place?
Yeah,
correct?
But here's the kicker, right?
Yeah.
72 hours, they were like, okay, you're free to go. I was like, but I didn't say anything. They're like, can't just keep you here after 72 hours.
Yeah.
We just can't do that, right? I actually woke up the day that I was supposed to be let out. And it was, I remember this distinctly. I woke up from a really bad night terror. We had, it was like 8:30, 9 a.m. I think was our first talk, like group session.
Mm-hmm.
And every day for 3 days, right over the weekend.
Yeah.
Every single group session was, Corey, do you have anything you'd like to say? Nope, sure don't. But that morning, I woke up and I was like, holy shit, I need to talk about some things. And it just hit me like a can of bricks, bro. Like it was the craziest thing I've ever felt. Internally,
once you turned the faucet on, it was just everything was flowing out.
Yeah, she was like, Corey, would you like to say anything? And I was like, you know what? Yeah, I do have something to say.
I need to say a lot.
And she was like, okay, everybody was like, like gasped in Spanish, right? It was like, oh my god, like what do we do? And she's like, everybody quiet down. We really want to hear this, right? Because I haven't talked in 3 days.
Oh yeah.
And now all of a sudden I want to spill it.
Now you want to talk, yeah.
I literally screamed and yelled and everything for 25 minutes. I'm not kidding you. The group session was supposed to last 30 minutes. That's it. And you know what started that?
What?
The night before, I saw 3 people trying to play euchre at a table where you need 4 people.
Oh, 3 people were trying. Oh,
they were trying.
So were they playing euchre?
They were playing euchre 3-handed. I'm not sure how you. They would basically just put like 4 cards over here.
Yeah.
And then they would go, and then the person next to them would just throw.
I'd hate for the blank hand to try and go alone.
Well, wouldn't that suck? Right? Boy. I got what you're saying there. I'm picking up what you're putting down now. Took me a minute to get there.
It's okay.
But yeah, he, obviously it went alone. Got 4 points, and I was like, whoa, I should step in here. He's obviously getting good hands.
Yeah.
So I walked over, and I was like, hey, can I jump in? And they were just like, yeah.
Sure.
Because I haven't talked to anybody.
Yeah.
And I was laughing. I was giggling. I was making jokes. I felt myself coming back very slowly, but I felt it come back. Like there wasn't sadness or madness against the world.
No, you don't necessarily mean even coming back from just the Friday when everything happened. You're talking about coming back from months ago. Oh, you're talking months and years from.
Yeah, easily.
Yeah.
I felt the real me starting to like trickle out, right?
Break through, yeah.
And so then when I woke up the next day, I was like, okay, I gotta say something. I got some shit to talk about. I've got this whole new view, right?
It is. I mean, it's like a rebirth. It really is.
I've never felt that like internally or in my mind.
Felt that moved.
Yeah. And I had to hear about everybody else's bullshit every day, 3 times a day, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck, I don't belong here. These are a bunch of drug addicts.
Well, that's the way people get it off their chest. I'm
not putting down drug addicts or alcohol addicts. But for the reason
congratulations to everyone who is going through that battle and stuff and staying sober, or whatever demons that you're battling and stuff. I congratulate you and kudos to you.
Yeah,
it's not an easy task, and
it was tough to get through it. I cried like a little girl, and I screamed and yelled for 25 minutes, and then I went into the other therapist and let all my skeletons out and let the demons out and accepted that help that I didn't need, right? But I did need.
I mean, well, and that's just.
And I told them I wanted to stay for another 72 hours. I told them I'm not leaving.
You opted to stay the extra time. Yeah.
And I ended up being there for other people in the room. I was even approached by the therapist that I should probably do this for a living because I was helping so many other people.
Yeah.
Either by listening or giving my own advice or what have you in a calming way, right?
Well, I mean, let's be honest about this podcast. Let's take this into we can spill any of that experiences that we've had and stuff and spill that over here into the podcast.
Yeah.
Helping people. People are listening to us and stuff. If they want to reach out and talk, 100% we're here. Day or night.
Awesome. Yeah.
You reach out on the Facebook page. If you know our numbers personally and stuff.
And if you don't even feel like putting yourself on blast, Send us a personal message.
It's not even something that, even if you don't even want to talk about it on the air,
right,
or you want us to talk about it, and you just want a sounding board for somebody to listen to you.
Yeah,
that's what we're here.
Yeah, and that was one of the really big things. We tried doing TikTok Live a couple times while we were in the hot tub.
Yeah, it's not that it did. I was gonna say it's not that it didn't work out. I mean, we didn't have the algorithms didn't line up.
Right. Yeah.
The stars didn't align.
But we talked about it on there too. That my main point that I'm getting to here is it's okay to talk to somebody.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of veterans get a bad rap for this too.
22 a day.
Right. Shout out to Irreverent Warriors, IW group here in Indianapolis. Well, they're all over the country. I've been just hanging out with those guys, a lot.
Is that the group of guys that was all at your birthday and, that I was introduced to, like...
Not this year.
Maybe when we were down at the vault and that whole group and stuff.
Yeah, I met a lot of the guys that year that I was at last year at the vault when I was
and
working.
I just got to say, I mean, no military background and stuff. I went the opposite way. I stayed home,
not for everybody.
Did my own thing here on the home turf and stuff. As a firefighter, EMT.
Yeah.
Still doing that and stuff, but as welcoming as all of your guys were and stuff, that's part of all these organizations that you guys do.
Yeah.
Hands down, kudos to every one of you, and I appreciate all of you and all of the friendship and hospitality that you all have shown me.
Yeah, so, they're great people.
They really are.
I can't, and I have to shout out Genitals for that, right?
Yes.
Genitals actually got me introduced to a lot of these people.
Oh, okay.
And it gives you a new eyesight, I guess. Because I battle demons. I've got PTSD, not for reasons for military, but to be able to have that support group.
Yeah.
Even though it's crazy, right? Because my PTSD isn't from the military, and there are a lot of these people have PTSD from military. Well, I don't have that. I don't have that. I can't explain what they were going through, what they're seeing in theirs.
Yeah.
But I can explain what my PTSD, and I'm getting shot every night.
Yeah. I mean, I was diagnosed with PTSD and depression, about 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Oh, we're going to give you medication, give you
fuck
somebody
all
to
that.
talk to. We're going to do all these things." And it's not like
medication does not work. I'm sorry, people, but I will be an advocate, and you can disagree, agree, whatever. They tried to do the same thing to me, and I was like, I'll be open about it, right? Because at this point, at my stay, I was open to everything. Yeah. I need all the help I can get right now. And learning how to grieve properly and all this other stuff, if there even is a proper way to grieve. In a more healthy way, I guess, is what I was going for there.
Yeah.
These guys are the Irreverent Warrior, man. I had a really bad night probably 6 months ago. And I didn't have those same thoughts, but I was pretty down. And and I didn't have the same thoughts that I had about hurting myself or anything like that, or leaving this.
Or just in a whole different mindset.
World. I literally finished an entire bottle of Jameson, listening to music, and I just needed. I didn't want to talk to anybody. Like, I didn't want to talk on the phone. I didn't want to hear anybody else's voice. I don't need advice. I didn't need any of that. I just needed to vent to somebody, right?
Oh, yeah.
I reached out to you. I reached out to Mikey. I reached out to, my local core group.
Yeah.
And then I reached out to this Irreverent Warrior group, and I was like, I just need to vent to somebody.
I need somebody.
I reached out to a couple of softball buddies of mine. Shout out to Jess Lee and Bam. Those guys, man, they listened, and we grew a stronger bond. After that night.
And it's not one of those things that you're not calling all these people for advice or anything like that. I just need a sounding board.
Yep,
I need somebody to listen to me.
Need to bounce something off of somebody, right? And it was a really bad night. I haven't had one of those since then. But we all had a mutual friend together in the softball community.
Oh, okay.
And it may not have been 6 months ago. It may have been a year ago at this point. I don't know. I drink too much. It was just an off night, and I was just like, I literally drank an entire fifth of Jameson by myself in my room.
It's okay. It's okay to have off nights. It's okay to have those
feelings. It's
feelings.
okay to have bad nights. Absolutely.
It really is.
That was really kind of the whole point. Sorry for the whole story, everybody, that you guys had to hear all that.
No.
But in the grand scheme of things,
somebody out there out of 75 listeners needed to hear that story. There's somebody out there who needed to hear that. And whether they take it and they go, yes, it was me, or it was just one of those things that they're just like,
I know somebody just like that. Yeah. And we don't want to get this dark or get into these tough conversations every episode. We want to try to keep some things light and fluffy, but I feel like this was like the perfect moment to kind of talk about this. I've been kind of brewing on, man, what are we going to talk about? Man, what are we going to talk about other than us big dumb rednecks just bullshitting back and forth with each other, drinking some Jack Daniels, smoking cigars. But
we are not smoking cigars in the nursery.
Oh no, we are in the nursery tonight.
In the new nursery. We're not smoking cigars in here.
We are
100%
smoking cigars.
No, we are not.
Oh man, this is a really good sweet cigar I've got right now with this Jack Daniels bonded. Don't worry, the wife is outside. She probably hates us right now, and that's fine. Babies are hard asleep.
She'd have done busted in here if we were.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. But anyway, so what I was getting at is like it's okay to talk to somebody. I still talk to a therapist once a week, whether it's a good week, bad week. Is it that
often?
Yeah. Once a week. Yeah. I don't have to go to her office.
No.
I just she sends me a text or I send her a text. If it's a good week, bad week,
week. It's nice to get that opinion from someone who's not
involved. It's a third party.
It really is, right? And they're not involved with you in an everyday life.
So her name is Allison. She is, oh my God, absolutely wonderful. I've been talking to her for about 2 years. There was a lull of time where I couldn't pay because I didn't have health insurance at the time. So, but she was still okay with reaching out. That was when I knew that I had the right one, right? But Allison is absolutely fantastic. I think she's with IU. I think it was downtown. I don't know. I've been in the office, I think 3 times.
Oh, okay.
The first time we met.
Now, you were actually at Community North.
I was at Community North, yeah, and then they directed me to this place.
Oh, okay.
This woman has tattoos. She's tall, redhead, and I was like, at first I wasn't as open, right? Because when you walk in, you're like, it wasn't a normal.
Okay, so that's one of those things and stuff that's your vision, though. What was your vision of a therapist?
Well, my vision of a therapist is what you see on TV, right?
Yeah.
You lay down on a little bench. The guy goes, "How are you feeling?" Mm-hmm. How do you feel about that? How do you feel about that? It was not like that at all. And I highly recommend, before you even get to where I was, mentally wise, if you start to feel, I don't feel good enough. You start losing your confidence.
Yeah. You feel unappreciated.
Go talk to somebody.
Like any types of.
Go talk to somebody.
Yeah.
Period. End of discussion. And it's okay to go through a couple therapists until you find the right one that matches what you're.
Right after I got diagnosed with my depression and stuff, and a lot of that depression stemmed from losing my grandfather, and not being here for that, and going on and forth and going through different relationships,
sure,
and all of those ending, and I just felt like I was at a dead end. I didn't know where to go. Didn't have anybody to talk to. Nobody that wasn't involved. I had my mom, I had my grandma. They were there. Yeah. They were involved though. So they still had an opinion of everything that was happening. Of, hey, this is what's going on. This is how we feel.
Right.
It's like I'm not asking for feedback on how you feel. I just want to get this off my chest.
Yeah.
And I met with a gentleman, younger guy. We talked over the phone. It was going right into COVID and stuff. I still spoke with him quite frequently up until I had left Ascension because that's where I worked and stuff.
Yeah.
But he was great. It was one of those things that didn't undermine you, didn't make you feel any certain way. It was like, but it was the same thing. It
was a soundboard.
Who is this?
It was a soundboard.
This is not what I envisioned. What are you going to do for me? And then
all
of
a
sudden,
it's not about what they can do for you. It's about what you can do for you.
Yeah.
And I think that really spoke.
That's what volumes. That's the thing. They give you the tools. Like they're not telling you how to do things. They give you advice. They give you tools. It's you. You're going to do all the work.
Yeah,
and I think the best piece of advice he ever told me was you can't get into a relationship and expect 50-50. A relationship isn't 50-50. A relationship is 100%, 100%.
Yeah, friendship.
You both give 100%.
Yeah.
And if you are not 100%, or if you're 100% and your spouse or whoever's not 100%,
you're right.
The only thing they're going to do from you is they're going to take 20% from you.
Every single time.
They're going to take 20% from you. They're going to take 5% from you. Whatever they need, and they're going to get that.
Right.
And then hopefully, once they get to 100%, you're you are, in a well enough headspace to be able to maintain that. And
but you can't.
I seen this really. It's another TikTok thing, but it was a husband and wife, and they came home from work, and the wife's like, "I'm at 80%." He goes, "That's fine. I'll carry your 20%." Like, so he's doing his 100%, and he's gonna pick up some slack for her.
Right.
And just having that open line of communication with your spouse, whatever it may be, whoever it is, of, hey man, I'm not 100% today. I'm gonna need you to help. Like,
today's
and
not
it's gonna carry.
Today's not really a good day.
Yeah. And it works.
It's okay to admit that even if you're single. This is also for single people. I'm single.
Well, most definitely, yeah.
But
if you come in, you're coming in to like tonight and stuff, and you're like, dude, I'm not 100%.
Yeah, I'm just not there today.
Yeah. That's fine. I got you. I'll cover you.
Right. That's what best friends are for.
I mean, yeah.
Any kind of
there's
friendship.
always that. There's always someone else out there that's going to hear you. That's going to go, hey, I'm going to cover that 20%.
Got your 6. Yeah.
I got your 6. Exactly.
And I think I've learned that a lot over the last 2.5 years. I've cut some people out. I've also gained some great people to kind of fill that void if they were even a void anyway, right? So,
when you're the one that stops reaching out, that phone doesn't ring nearly as much.
Exactly. And you know what?
It's a tough thing to hear
and it's
understand,
okay.
And it's like, wow.
And it's okay.
It is.
It may not feel okay, right? When you do it, right? Because you're like, fuck, man, like you've been you know everything. You know my children, you know my friends and your friends. We're all friends, and or hey, you know my spouse and I know your spouse, and it's.
You've been to my Christmas. You've been to my wedding. You've been to. You've
done
all these things,
different,
and to have to make that tough decision,
and that's okay. It's okay to
really
do that,
is, yeah,
right?
Yeah, it's one of those things that if you are not going to help me in this journey, and you are not going to be part of this next chapter, and you have to be able to. You can't let others sit there and hold you back on that
because you can't control what other people do. Right?
You can't. Yeah,
and I think a lot of people need to hear this because I think a lot of people. Get this kind of twisted, right? Like a lot of people are like, "Oh, well, so and so didn't do this. Well, they're not doing this." Okay, and you can't control what other people do or say. Their actions and their words are what they do.
Yeah.
What you can control is yourself
and the way you react to those situations.
And this isn't a TikTok thing. Something I've lived by for a really long time. I heard it. I should have realized this 2.5 years ago when I lived by it, but I didn't. But it was only you could be positive in any negative situation. Period. Think about that.
That's true.
Think about that, right? Only you can be positive in any negative situation. Somebody else wants to be negative? Okay. Thank you for your support. Or thank you for being there. Thank you for your opinion. You don't have to agree.
Yeah.
But you don't even have to fight it back. You don't have to argue about it. Because if it doesn't apply to your life in a positive manner, person, thing, place, why be there?
Yeah.
Why do it? Why have that person in your life?
Well, and why give that person that benefit of knowing that the satisfaction that you're dwelling on them?
Oh, absolutely.
I read a book. I was going through how to be a leader. It was different classes I had to take for the fire department. It was and the book that I read and stuff was How to Deal with Nasty People. And it's literally one of those books that you read and you're just like, this book is so stupid. I'm never going to read this book again. And it one of the analogies they used was, why do you keep getting beat with the same stick?
Right.
You keep running away from it and they'll catch up to you. Why do you keep getting beat with the same stick?
They're just going to chase you with the same stick, right?
Turn around and take the stick.
Yeah.
It's the most easiest analogy that I've heard and use. It's like, turn around and take the stick. Because when you take the stick, they can't beat you with it anymore. You now have it.
Right.
They can chase you all they want.
But with what?
But they're not going to beat you with it anymore because you have the stick.
Right.
And it was one of those things that just spoke wonders to me, and I don't know why.
I think that's so cool to hear that. I've never actually heard that before, and I think that's pretty cool to hear, like to reflect on, right?
Yeah.
I think a lot of people should just reflect on life in general and places, people, things.
I mean, a mirror's not only to admire your beauty.
Well, it is for me. I don't have much of it left, so let me get what I can get in it.
Oh, please,
please.
But no, I mean, sometimes you don't recognize the person looking back at you,
and that's okay,
yeah.
because that's called growth.
It is
spiritual growth, personal growth, whatever kind of growth you want. It's there. It's available for you, right? You just got to go out and take it. Never. Do you want to be on the sidelines of history? I don't.
Oh no.
We kind of talked about it last week.
Well, this plays right into it. I mean,
right into your footprint. I'm glad. This is why we're doing this, because we have these same thoughts.
Yeah.
But also for our listeners out there, it's just take some of these things that we talk about, and if you have a question, and even not just for us personally, if you have a question for yourselves, if you've been thinking about some things, and you've kind of are kind of like in a lull, or kind of stuck in the mud, like they do in Alabama. It's don't be afraid to reach out.
Yeah.
And we don't if you don't want to talk about it on the Facebook page, you don't want to talk about it when we post things, that's okay. You can always private message us. All messages will be selected in confidence.
Unless you want to be
named
about and stuff, then totally. But other than that and stuff, everything's going to be confident.
Everything is confidential.
We have a wealth of resources. I mean, being in the hospital for so long, doing the fire department for so long,
racing and
actually being part of it and going through different scenarios and stuff.
Please do not hesitate. We have tons of experience, just the two of us, but we want to hear your guys' experience too. Please do not hesitate to reach out. Also, if you are a military vet, and I will do a little commercial for Irreverent Warriors, for all you veterans out there, please get a hold of the IW Indianapolis on Facebook. Stacy, Lynn, and Cody are your people to go to there to get you kind of set up with that. They have a silky hike all over the country.
Oh, wow.
A bunch of veterans just get together, and it's to cut down on veteran suicide. Yeah. Anything helps. I mean, with Justin Ashley's team, we've got that. I know I kind of said that, I think, in the first episode.
I think so, yeah.
The Joaquin Foundation, their Joaquin Foundation, is also a good veteran. They help veterans with jobs.
Oh, nice.
They just got a new CEO over there. If you're a veteran and you're looking for a job, they can, if as soon as you get out of the military, because I do know some current, military personnel as well. Once you get out, you don't know what to do. The Joaquin Foundation will be able to help you out with that. They're not based in Indianapolis, but I'm not really sure exactly where they're based. But I worked very closely with them. Worked closely with them with Justin Ashley, and they were fantastic.
That's awesome.
And they still continue that even with SCAD coming on as a sponsor.
Yeah.
For the 2024 season. But yeah. Anyway, they do silky hikes. Veterans from all over the country. I mean, I think the Indy hike last April. There were 252 veterans from all over the country that showed up to Indianapolis and did the silky hike. There's music, there's booze, there's water, there's camaraderie. That's their mission.
Yeah.
Is camaraderie. And I'd like to get either Cody or Stacy on one of our episodes to maybe when we get closer to the Indy hike in July. I think it's July 27th or something like that.
Almost
to maybe to kind of broadcast that and try to get as many veterans out there as you can, because at the end of the day, brothers and sisters, we have each other's back, stuff like that. So, but anyway, yeah. So that was pretty much the episode today.
I think it was. It was a not a topic that we thought we were going to get into this evening.
No, I don't think we really thought about what kind of topic we were going to get into today, but I think it carried a lot of weight.
It did.
Going in. Yeah. We talk about like this kind of stuff all the time, you and I. But when we say, guys, that we really want your guys' feedback, we don't mean, hey, do you guys like our podcast? Well, we want you to follow because you like our podcast. We don't give a shit if you like our podcast.
Yeah.
We want this to be personalized, right?
Well, yeah, personalized to each person's experience. I mean,
we want to share everybody's experience. Good, sad, mad, happy. I mean, all your emotions. We don't care. We want to share our experiences with you because maybe one day you're going through that experience. You're like, man, I heard that on everything in between. And man, those guys, man, they were right.
Yeah,
they weren't wrong about that. Help with self-reflection. Today was all about self-reflection. Apparently
it was.
Yeah.
This is what we needed.
Yeah, it's been not really a good day. I think it started out good.
Yeah, I think it did too.
And
I think well, it's funny that we get into this and stuff. We're doing some remodel here at the house.
Yeah.
My wife pulls out a picture that she got that night from one of the local bars that we had went to and stuff, and how she took this poster, and it was on my birthday, and that
maybe
everything goes full circle.
Yeah, I think that jogged the memory. We had a really good night that night until the ending.
We did until the ending.
But I'm glad. I'm happy that I'm able to share my experience.
It was an ending. It was an ending of one, and it was the beginning of
a new life
of you.
That's the only way to put it.
Yeah,
it was a brand new life.
Happy birthday! 2.5 years.
I don't know about happy birthday, but
that's what they say.
But and that goes for all you sober people out there too, whether it be drugs, alcohol, or anything else. Keep striving, keep working hard. Reach out to that sponsor. Reach out to people that you trust fully. I think that can really go a long way. I think.
Hell, reach out to us.
Let us
hear your journey. I want to hear you. I want to be able to congratulate you and celebrate you, and let everybody else hear you and celebrate you. What you're going through.
Your story could match somebody else's journey and help somebody else. And you may not want to speak about it publicly.
Yeah,
but we can.
We're
your voice.
I have a really good friend who is a veteran who has gone to rehab, who has gone to AA, and we're still really close. And I'd love to reach out to him, get him on.
Oh yeah,
I want he's awesome. You guys will, some of you already know who I'm talking about, but yes,
I don't, which is okay, and that's. For another time, and
exactly. I don't want to give away too much.
No,
I don't want to give away anything without speaking with him first.
Precursors. We like precursors.
Yeah.
But it is.
I just don't want to air out somebody's business on there.
Oh no.
If they're not ready to talk about that,
we're not here for that.
Definitely, I'm going to reach out.
We're not go-getters of your life. We are not here to out anybody, but we are here to speak about experiences
and listen.
And we are here to listen to you as well. We actually just got a couple more mics in. So we're lucky to start having guests.
I was gonna say you're speaking on the new mic and it's doing fantastic.
Yeah, I think it. Yeah, well, mine's taking a crap poop.
I don't know what happened. I think we need to get like 3 more of those.
Oh yeah, these are pretty good. I don't know. I'm holding mine. I sat it down for half the show. I've held it for half the show. It's been all right. It's not.
I think it's one of those things that once we finally get an established area, that would be the most common thing to have. It's a tabletop. It's there. It's in front of you. It's movable wherever you're sitting. I think that's good.
Yeah, but please,
I think that's good for tonight as well.
Yeah, everybody, we really do appreciate. We can't thank you enough. 75 people for the first episode was not what we envisioned.
No, I was thinking 5.
I said 10. I said 10. No, I said 6. I think I said 6 people. You said 10.
Yeah, I said something like that.
And I said 6 people. And I would have been okay with just 6 people.
And shout out to somebody in Belgium. I don't know who you are, but reach out.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Yeah, please reach out.
I was so mind.
Reach out via our Facebook page.
Are you kidding me?
That's super cool.
Yeah.
In drag racing, we've got a couple Netherlands.
Oh, well, that's true. Yeah,
drivers, Lex June and Ida. She actually just got part of the JCM team this year. She'll be driving a Top Fuel for the first time.
Fantastic.
Both champions in the Netherlands and professional drag racing out there, making their way around the NHRA circuit this year. Lex June. I know.
Right around the
I'm
corner.
ready. I'm ready. Gainesville. Yeah. Actually, they just had.
And I gotta say, you've tried to say Lex's name like 3 times, and I keep interrupting you with that and stuff. But his slogan, "Never quit," it speaks truth, and I feel like it ties straight into all of this.
Everything
tonight.
that we're talking about.
It is never quit. Don't give up. Don't give up on your hopes, your dreams. What you think is a dream, it's not. It's only a dream until it's accomplished. Yeah. You can accomplish anything you set your mind to. Who would have thought we were going to be sitting here, recording a podcast, having 75 listeners? Let's turn that 75 into 7,500. Let's can do it.
Easy. I'll take 75 and turn 75 into 76 next time. That's what I'll take on episode number 2.
Let's go 750. I'm not saying by episode number 2. I'm just saying, for however long this goes on.
Well, we're going to be doing this for a while, I think, because I think this could be a really good outreach to a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
But yes,
and I'm really glad we got into something so deep so soon. I feel like that that's that piece that the couple of people that I've talked to and stuff are like, when you putting that next one out? When you doing the next one? What's it going to be about?
We don't know.
Hey, we don't even really know.
There's
no itinerary for tonight.
There's never an itinerary.
We grab a bottle, we sit down, turn the mic on, and away we go. Yep. This is what we do.
Bullshit. Talk about everything in between.
I love it.
I can't get enough of it.
That's awesome.
Again, I can't thank you guys enough.
Reach out. Let us know about merch too. I don't know if you've seen our logo. Let us know what you think of the logo.
If you're looking,
we're looking like merch. Like we're gonna do shirts.
Hats.
I do single color screen printing shirts. We do hats. Just reach out. Let us know what you want. If you want anything, please support us. Literally, I'm gonna charge what we're charging for the T-shirt. We're not making anything off of it.
We don't want to make anything off of it. This is not a.
And if we do, if it's one of those things that if we do end up making profit off of it and stuff, we're going to put that towards a good cause.
Absolutely,
we'll donate different charities and things like that. So
yeah, this isn't for us a way to make money. This is for us to reach out to our listeners and whatnot to to help them, whether it's through a good time, bad time, tough time. That's what we're here for.
I want you to get on and laugh. Have fun.
That's really all we care about. Yeah.
Who the hell wants to listen to 2 guys sit and drink?
And 75 people did.
75 people did.
Oh boy, yeah. So I think I'm going to talk to my buddy out there. If you guys haven't heard of OCAT Company, they're making hats right now. He's actually been going 8 seconds for most shows, and
that's awesome.
And getting some local artists and some new and upcoming country artists to buy into their brand. But OCAT Company, they look great. They are fantastic hats. Another commercial break, just so you know.
Another commercial break.
Good buddy of mine. He just started a hat company, and he does a bang up job. He kind of does what your hat is like.
That's literally what I was doing. I was wondering who made the hat that I actually have on. Nobody can obviously see me take my hat off along with my headset and everything, just to figure out who made the hat that I'm wearing.
But OCAT
Mind you, I had to touch my forehead to figure out which hat it was.
But OCAT Company, they're brand new, and they've got a lot of people that are buying their hats right now, and they're good quality hats. They've got them on all different kind of color schemes right now.
Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen for him. Let's make it happen for us.
Yeah.
Show our support. Support his local business.
Yeah, I think we should. I think I'd go out there, buy like 10 hats from him and get everything in between and the OCAT logo, company logo, awesome. On the front of it, and see if we can't sell some merch out there, because I'm a hat wearer.
Every day.
I don't think there's really much of a day that I go without wearing a hat. If I leave the house, I got a hat on.
Well, all right, guys.
Yep.
This is
I think we should call it a night tonight.
This has been a good episode.
Again, guys, we appreciate you guys listening in on everything in between. We leave no stone unturned. I'm Corey.
I'm Zach.
Thank you all for listening. We appreciate you. Thank you, guys. We'll see you in a week's time. Be prepared. Download will be happening soon. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate it.